Hey blockheads, this is DJ AK from NK Airplay Radio, and if you love what the My So-Called Whatever podcast crew is doing, check us out too. NK Airplay is an online radio station playing all your favorite hits from the 80s and 90s, especially the ones from those boys in the band, New Kids on the Block. Listen to artists like Boyz II Men, Debbie Gibson, Tiffany, boy bands, girl bands, and many more. We play artists that are associated with or who inspired the New Kids on the Block, plus some of the artists that inspired us while we were growing up. Check us out on social media at NK Airplay Radio. And download the Live 365 app for your iPhone or Android phone and listen today.
Friends forever, that's what we are. Through the thick and the thin, we're friendship stars. We're banger main buddies from the days of old. We laugh, cry, and hug, friendship solid gold. My so-called whatever started a year ago. We share our stories and your stories were told. 80s, 90s memories that give us glee. And on the block party shows, NKOTB. Now our friendship circle has grown by far. Hashtag friends forever, that's what we all are. Boom. And if you don't know, now you know. My so-called whatever for life. Hashtag MSCW. Hashtag friends forever. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hello there.
Hello.
It says it's recording. Yay.
It is.
So, welcome everybody.
Welcome. Welcome to my so-called whatever.
This is one of our special Halloween episodes.
Ooh.
Will you put some of that like background?
No, because last time I did that, we got strikes from friggin' YouTube. I was like, what the hell?
Never mind.
Yeah. I know the other music that I've used for other stuff, I haven't gotten, but the Halloween music, for some reason, got a copyright infringement. I was like, excuse me, I purchased this.
Right.
Like
royalty free.
Right. So anyway.
Or you already paid the royalty.
I did. Yes. And I have I can use it on a project or projects. And yeah.
YouTube, get your act together.
Yeah.
So how was your week?
It was all right. It was okay.
Yeah, mine too. I mean, it was good, but we had some loss.
Yeah.
In our household.
Yeah.
We lost not one, but two cats.
So sad.
So weird. Lucy died on Tuesday. Well, Lucy, we knew that she was going downhill.
Mm-hmm.
So I took her in on Tuesday. The vet looked her over. She was an old kitty. There really wasn't much that could be done at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Even to try to make her comfortable, like there really wasn't much that could be done.
Right.
So she crossed the Rainbow Bridge in the vet's office that day. And that was sad. And then the next day, Bella, who also hadn't been doing well, we knew that, but I didn't expect it to be the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Pete called me. He was home. I was still at work. It was 4:30. The vet's office closed at 5. He's like, I've got to take Bella to the vet. You need to come home. And I'm like, well, I don't have time to come home. So we sent Sadie to the neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
He took Bella to the vet and she died there. Like she died, like the stress of it killed her.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So
she wasn't even put to sleep. She just died.
She died. He found her. She was really struggling to breathe. Like she couldn't exchange air. And her tongue was blue. Oh. My poor baby. I felt so bad. Sadie is devastated.
Yeah.
She howled and cried. Not so much for Lucy because we were kind of able to prepare her a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Bella, I tried to prepare her, but Bella we've had a lot longer.
Yeah.
Like she's a family cat.
Right. Like Sadie's kind of grown up with her.
Yeah. So she's really upset. She wants another cat immediately.
Yeah.
But I'm like, honey, another cat's not going to replace Bella in our hearts.
That's true.
And mommy needs a break from cats.
Mm-hmm.
I love them, but having anybody that has older cats,
It's a lot of work.
especially cats with special needs,
Yes.
it is a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time for me to decat my house. Like Lucy was down here in the basement, which it's a finished basement. It has a carpet,
Mm-hmm.
but like she couldn't control her bowels like at the end. Like it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
So we were gonna clean up, clean out, assess where we are, maybe in the spring. I think I'm gonna surprise Sadie by taking her to pick out a fish this weekend.
I think that's a great idea.
We're
I
just
think
gonna
it's a
get like
great
a betta
idea.
fish.
Yeah.
Just like a fish. And I've already explained to her, because she's always wanted a fish. And I said, we can't have one because of Bella. What if Bella tried to eat it?
Right.
Now we can get a fish. But fish die. We just go buy another one.
Right.
So anyway, that's been my week. It's been really good other than that. Really good other than that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on an upturn in life.
Well, that's good.
Maybe.
I'm happy. I'm so happy. We're going to lunch tomorrow.
We are. Oh my gosh, because there's so much to talk about. I mean,
and we're not going to talk podcast. Well, we might a little bit, but
there's like, we talk podcast a lot.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of our conversations. Mm-hmm. And like we found ourselves chit-chatting before recording about life.
Because we just have to catch up.
And there's so much. Like we've been talking for
over an hour.
Yeah. And not even recording, and it's 10:30 and we still got to record.
Yeah. This is like the old days. Those old days,
those were some late nights.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's been good. It's been okay. We've had some like family stuff going on, but other than that, it's been great. I feel like I'm also on the up and up. Like I feel like even though it's fall, and usually fall's really hard for me.
Yeah.
I feel good.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
That's so good. It's every day is different.
It is.
I think for all of us, mm-hmm. And you have your up days and your down days. Today happens to be an up day after a couple of really down days because of cats and stuff.
Right.
Right now it's kind of an up day.
That's good. So we're both on an up day.
Yeah. Hey, you guys hit us just right.
That's right. Also,
we hit you just right.
It's October. So October is usually stressful for me pre-COVID because it's both Brent and Brody's birthday.
True.
But because of COVID, we're just doing family stuff.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I think we're going to go Sweet Frog.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a long time.
Yep.
That sounds so good right now.
Kevin bought a 3-pack of like gift card thingies.
Yeah.
At Sam's Club. So
that's a good deal.
Because it was a good deal, yeah. Kevin likes a good deal.
Kevin does like a good deal.
Yes, he does. He loves a good deal. He loves a good deal. So
that's amazing. We'll have a good time at Sweet Frog.
Yeah, I will. So do you want to let's just get into it.
Let's intro.
Do it. Okay. All right.
This is Brooke.
And this is Nikki.
And this is my so-called whatever.
It is.
Hey, y'all.
Our namesake episode.
It is our namesake episode. It is a rewatch of My So-Called Life.
It is.
And guess what one it is? Episode 9.
Halloween. And Courtney brought this to our attention.
Courtney, you're so smart.
She was like, you guys, do you know what the next episode is? It's like perfect. It's Halloween. So we were like, yeah, we're going to do that for Halloween. We really wanted to do some scary stories as well. But we didn't really, I think you guys have told us all your scary stories. So we did get one, like not so scary story, but cool. Like it's like a cool, weird story, like eerie.
No, we read it first.
Let's read it. Let's read it. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, you go for it.
Okay. Hi, girls. This is called Denise's medium, not so scary story. Hi, girls. I've been read by the same medium 5 times and have had an amazing and different experience come out of each one. It's kind of hard to put this kind of story into writing because the audience doesn't know the personal references, but I'll try my best to paint the pictures. I decided to tell 3 mini stories that stand out from stand out the most from my medium experience. Okay, Bella's picture. I was read, it says title, LOL. I was read not too long after we had to put our 15-year-old lab, Bella, to sleep.
Oh, another Bella.
Oh. I had heard that animals came through and was very interested and excited to see if I got a message. Backstory, one day when I was alone in my house, I heard a noise. This is going to give me goosebumps. I already have goosebumps. After looking around, I saw that a picture of Bella had fallen off of some floating shelves. I didn't think much of it. I checked to make sure it wasn't broken, and I put it back on the shelf. The picture is just of her face, and she's wearing a pink bandana. That is important info. So when I was being read, the topic of Bella came up. I believe I asked if there was a message from her. The medium said, "Oh yes, she is still around you a lot. In fact, she knocked something over." He asked if my couch was positioned in such a way near where the floating shelves were. He described my setup perfectly. He said she jumped from the top of the couch and hit it with her nose. And then he went on to say that it was only a picture of her face. I was so shocked, as am I. I have goosebumps.
That's amazing.
I never told anyone that picture fell. The awesome thing was that we had to put Bella to sleep because she became paralyzed in the back legs and wasn't able to walk. Oh, Bella. She was too weak to support herself to use any sort of walkers or aids that we tried. To know that she was able to jump again meant the world. I attached a picture of the framed picture that fell. So this is an amazing story. We have two more, which is amazing. There is a picture. She has provided a picture of Bella with this bandana that is the most adorable dog. I love Bella. I want to give Bella a kiss on the snout.
Me too. Bella has an old face in this picture and it's so sweet.
When I first saw it, it reminded me of Caesar, my little Caesar.
Oh, what a sweetie.
And also, can I have the name and info from your medium? I think Brooke would like it too.
That's amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, the next one is Elizabeth. Backstory. In telling my sister about all the readings I've had, she asked me why my grandparents have never had a message for her or brought her up. I told her that she would need to be read because her relationship with them was different than mine. Remember this. The medium I have been read by will reference names at the beginning of your reading to make all of the connections he is apparently receiving on his end. In more than one reading I received from him, he referenced an Elizabeth. I don't know any Elizabeths, so he went on. But he told me that I do. In a second reading, he referred to an Elizabeth again, and I said, I still don't know an Elizabeth. He then asked my confirmation in connection to my grandfather. His name was Daniel. My confirmation name is Danielle, after him. This got me thinking that I should ask my sister what her confirmation name is. When I did, you know what I found out? Her confirmation name is Elizabeth. So my grandparents were trying to send me a message for her all along. Next time I plan on saying, yes, I do know an Elizabeth. I attached a picture of the medium's notes with the name Elizabeth.
That's so cool.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. These are the stories I live for right here.
I love this. And the notes are like, I looked at the pictures before
Yes, me too.
I read the stories. And I that's what I'm like, that's gotta be some notes.
Yeah.
Because just the way that it's written and the arrows and the circles and that's so cool.
You know what it reminds me of? That time that I was read.
Oh, really?
And remember, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I'm like, oh, that's right. I do have an aunt, and she did die of a brain aneurysm because they kept saying head, her head. She didn't wake up. And I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about. And my aunt had literally just passed a week before. But I wasn't really close with her.
Right. So it wasn't in your forefront of your mind.
I mean, I shouldn't say I wasn't really close to her. I never really got to know her that well. So, it was interesting. It's interesting how they get these this information. And you're like, oh my gosh. And they were like insisting, what they're doing, what I'm talking about. And I was just like, and then it just dawned on me, and I'm like, because I'm going to be honest with you, I was really hoping for my grandfather to come through.
Yeah.
That is what I wanted. That's who I wanted to come through. And you know what? I can see him like off in the corner being like, this is ridiculous.
This is bullshit.
Yeah. So maybe not. Maybe another time. The next story is Pop Pop's chair. Backstory. My Pop was my best friend. Oh. My parents were divorced, and my grandparents basically lived with us during the week, so we would have someone at home when we came home from school. I had the same relationship with my grandfather. He was a quiet man and didn't show much outwardly affection, but boy, did I hang on him. I look back at old pictures, and just by the way he looked at his granddaughters, you could see the love. I was always with Pop. This is important to remember. Each time I have been read, my grandmother does the talking. That doesn't surprise me because she was the more outspoken of the grandparents. I've received beautiful messages from her as well. That could be another story, but I will stay focused. At the end of one of my readings, I asked if my Pop was there. The medium said, oh yes, he's letting your grandmother do all the talking. He's sitting in the chair in the corner with his arms crossed. Oh, did I forget to mention that when I was little, my Pop-Pop's chair was in the corner and he used to cross his arms? He then said that my Pop-Pop loved when I would climb on him. I attached a few pictures of my Pop-Pop. I also need to add that my Pop-Pop spoiled this Joey girl like crazy. I know, this isn't a block party, but I have to say it. Whatever it was, the pink flip watch, the beach towel, the trading cards, etc., he somehow was able to get it for me. I love your Pop so much.
He sounds awesome.
I had to earn it, though. I needed those good report cards. I guess it worked out because I'm a teacher now. Oh. For anyone who is on the fence about seeing your medium, my words of advice are go with an open mind. If you had a close relationship with someone who has passed, it's such a rewarding experience. I am Catholic, and apparently I shouldn't be doing this kind of thing. But I don't see the harm of it when my motive is to have another few seconds with the people we have loved so much and have lost.
True.
I have no regrets for being read 5 times now and plan on doing it again soon. Here are my pictures. Happy Halloween. Love and bye. Denise. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Those are amazing. And I do want to know who your medium is.
Yes.
And
please.
Does he, I think you said it's a he, does he do like Zoom?
Yeah, because I'm here for it. Maybe we could do like a dual reading. Maybe you and I could both go. Like you could read both of us.
It'd be cool if we could get a medium on the podcast.
That it's not 80s or 90s, but it's cool.
It is cool. Who would want to hear and this is serious.
Yes.
If you guys would like us to have a medium on the podcast,
yes,
to read us,
yes, let us know, and we will do it.
We will line that up. That would be amazing.
You know somebody that would that girl do it?
That girl would do it in a second.
Okay,
I think she would do it.
That's amazing.
I absolutely think that
she would have to do it like via our Zoom, and I hope that would be okay.
Sure. Yeah. We
could
work that out with somebody.
If you guys want us to be read and you want to like take part in it, it will be like a special episode. We'll do it.
Oh my God.
Down for that. I think that'd be fun.
I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah. And you guys can like be in it, like to hear it. Maybe they'll talk New Kids.
Maybe.
You just never know. They'll go, oh, what's that? Why am I getting the right stuff in my head?
That'd be amazing.
Oh, well, thank you, Denise.
So much, Denise.
Yes, thank you. And I want to hear that other story about the other messages you got. Yeah, send us another email.
Love it.
All right, so let's get on to talk about episode number 9, Halloween. That
From
was
so-called life.
It was released October 27th, 1994. So we were 14. We were freshmen in high school. I was about to be 15 in December. And I believe this was shot September of 1994. And both Brooke and I noticed that Danielle looks a lot older in this episode than the previous episode. Like she looks like that transformation you make from like 5th to 6th grade. You guys know the transformation we're talking about, like, or
Yeah.
6th to 7th.
It was, for me, it was 6th to 7th.
Yeah, 6th to 7th grade. It's like, it's a big transition.
Yeah.
So that's what it looked like that she got older. I don't
like,
know.
notably older.
Right.
And
right.
so Nikki went back and looked at the dates.
Yes, I did.
There was like a whole 6 months between filming of
Right.
episode 8 and episode 9.
Right, because episode 8 was March of 94. And then this was filmed in September of 94.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So crazy. So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it. So when she starts the episode, I like resonated with this message like a lot. Like when she was saying, when I was little, I used to worship Halloween.
Mhm.
Halloween was a huge deal. And I know I've talked about it before on the podcast. Like for me, it was huge.
Halloween was always a huge deal in our house, like in our
Yeah.
neighborhood and everything.
Yeah, we both had the kind of neighborhoods that you want to go trick-or-treating in.
Exactly.
Like they were
we
the
grew up in those
ones
neighborhoods.
that there were hardly any lights off.
Right.
And you could go door to door and like fill like a
Fill a bag.
pillowcase.
Right.
Like fill a pillowcase. I never had a pillowcase. I always had a huge ass pumpkin.
I always
It was
had like those like plastic, you know, those plastic ones, like the handles.
Yeah, mine was like jumbo sized. Or maybe it's just because I was little and like it seemed really big.
And it seemed really big.
Yeah. But I really resonated with, is that the word I'm looking for?
I think so. Resonated. Yeah.
Like, yeah, the beginning of the episode. Because the last time I trick-or-treated, I was a freshman in high school.
I don't think I trick-or-treated since like 6th or 7th grade.
I actually went out with 2 friends, Sarah and Molly, and we all dressed up. Sarah was a farmer. Molly was Dorothy. And I can't remember what I was. Or I was Dorothy. I can't remember what I was, but I have a picture somewhere. And we went trick-or-treating. We were like, who cares? This is the last year we'll be able to do it.
Right.
Let's just do it.
Right.
So we did it. Bryn really wanted to go this year. Like she was like, you did it until you were a freshman. I want to do it. But because of COVID, she's like, I guess that was my last year. And Brody is like retired. He's like, I'm ready to hang it up. Last year was my last year trick-or-treating.
Aww.
So what I'm going to do, we're going to buy like a couple things of candy and that's it. So
and they can eat the candy.
Right. So yeah, that's my little 2 cents.
So when she said that she still does kind of worship it because it's the one day you can be someone else, I was like, I get that. Like, I don't get that now because I don't dress up now.
Right.
But when I was her age, like I got that. But I didn't. So then I like made a note. Like, did we like? I didn't dress up in high school. Like, I didn't go to school in a costume.
No.
So like when Sharon was like all decked out as a cat.
Here's the thing.
I was like,
sometimes our spirit weeks like intertwined with Halloween because we played
Right.
Brewer.
Right.
And they're the Brewer witches. Like, yes, their mascot is a witch. I believe there's like 2 schools in the United States that have a mascot that's a witch, like Salem and Brewer. So, and I don't know that for a fact, you know, don't quote me on that, but
right.
But yeah, I don't think that people would just dress up.
No,
I mean that wasn't a thing.
We dressed up for Spirit Week,
right?
And got very much into that. That was cool. Like I loved that.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, Bryn has Spirit Week this week.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Tomorrow is like school spirit day, so
yeah,
and she's going to school, so she's wearing her field hockey sweatshirt.
Perfect. But yeah, I made that note. Like, I don't remember anybody dressing up in high school for Halloween.
No.
Like, I just don't.
No. But I'll tell you what, if they did, you know, I would have been game for that. I would have dressed up every Halloween.
Yes.
So,
clear the road. I'm 16.
Yes, that was a great outfit. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
So, I don't know. Was this when they were in the class? Right? And the teacher, what was she? I think I missed like a swath of stuff. So your notes are better than mine.
In the beginning, they're talking about Boyd, this new person that got hired. And she's complaining about Boyd because all of a sudden now he's got a chiropractor appointment. And he's just not working out. Because we learned from the last episode that she fired Graham, like as a favor, like you need to do your own thing and do your thing.
You're fired to live your dreams.
She keeps trying to push this flapper dress on Angela and then Danielle. And she's like, I hate the flapper dress.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I think it's just like a thing, like a personality quirk of her. Like,
yes,
it's just to further develop the character.
Right. And then she realizes they need to dress up. So what are they going to be? And then it switches to Angela's in the classroom. And Brian Krako's like, I can't believe people are dressed up like idiots. And she said, I wouldn't talk, Brian. Or like, I wouldn't talk. And then she starts wondering why she didn't dress up. Because like Sharon's dressed up. Everybody thinks she's a rat, but she's a cat.
Right.
And then the teacher is dressed as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That made me laugh.
I didn't know that. So listen, guys, I watched this with Kevin and Bryn. Bryn, when she saw Jordan Catalano, she goes, he's hot.
It is the universal language of Jordan
Bryn,
Catalano.
He still is. She's like, how old is he? I was like, well, not this old anymore, but he's probably a little bit older than us.
Right. He's probably mid-40s and hot.
Yeah.
Hot. Perfect, hot. Perfect man.
Yeah. But she was like, wow. She just kept saying it. He's hot. I was like, I know. Jordan Catalano.
That's what I'm talking about.
Kevin was
That's what chuckling.
It is. He was like, ha, 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 ha.
Oh, where's Shannon Elizabeth?
Yeah. So, the teacher was like, where's Jordan Catalano? And then she looks at Angela, which, like, why does she think Angela knows Jordan Catalano? I don't know. She's like, do you know Jordan Catalano? And she's like, basically tell him that he better come to class or else.
I did not agree with what she said.
No, it was rude.
It was so rude.
It was personal.
It was, because she was like, I didn't write down the exact words, but she was basically like, it's too much time to spend with the good kids. I don't have time for the bad kids or something like that. And it's like, you know what?
That's what he's been given his whole life.
Right.
Are teachers that don't give a crap.
Don't be an asshole, teacher.
Right. So
most teachers are not like that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I felt really bad for him, even though he wasn't there and didn't know. Right. But I still felt bad for him because that's shitty.
Me too. So cut to Rayanne shaving her legs in the sink.
Jesus, Brian. I wrote. This is my
stalker. Note. Brian.
This is my note. Brian, don't be creepy.
He is. He's being creepy. Look at those legs. Hey.
Like you've never seen legs before?
Yeah.
Guess what? When she puts it down, you're gonna see him walking.
Right.
Like it's a leg.
Right.
Brian.
I think Brian has a thing for legs.
I think Brian just doesn't get any action or play.
No. I agreed.
And this was like internet being in all the homes. Granted, I'm sure he had it. But it's not like you could just like go online.
But it took forever to download
Pornhub or something.
Right. Pictures.
Right. Right.
And then by the time he got to the nipples, his mom was knocking on his door.
Right, because it took like 25 minutes to download.
Right. So Ricky's in there in the bathroom and he's dressed like Brian Krakow because he borrowed Brian Krakow's clothing because he's dressed like everyone else. Right. And Rayanne's a vampire. And then Rayanne gives Angela this like costume, which really isn't a costume. I guess it's her mom's clothes, which are from the 60s.
Right.
Which makes sense. And they so Angela puts them on. It's like a skirt and like it's like 60s-esque, early
Right.
60s.
It's like old timey looking.
Right. Like late 50s, early 60s. And she has a book. I don't know if the book came with or she got it in an English class or I can't remember, but Nikki Driscoll is in there.
So I did not follow the Nikki Driscoll story whatsoever. So if you can explain it if you know it. Because I couldn't like I know he died.
Yeah. So
doing something.
Okay. So this is like one of those urban legends. Like to them, like, oh, did you hear you don't know about Nikki Driscoll? Oh, you don't know? Well,
you don't know about John Brown?
Yeah. We should I don't think we've talked about John Brown.
I know that we've talked about John Brown.
Okay. John Brown in his house that somebody that was like a senior pooped his pants. So
wait, what was it? John Brown. If you were in this house, show us your face.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see your face, John Brown. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I didn't either, but I was in that house.
Me too. And then we came back in the daytime that time.
Yes.
And it was like standing on like nothing.
What the fuck?
It was like it's like somebody dug the foundation. And like, I don't know how it was standing up, you guys. Like,
why did all of a sudden like half of Bangor High School like
go to Old Town?
Right, this week and a half.
Right.
In the fall. And everybody would go. And like you'd see random people from Bangor High School.
Tons of cars.
Yes. At this house, like this abandoned house.
Right.
And we would just go.
Yeah. We went and there was like a bunch of people there when we went.
You know, people do that on YouTube. They go to like abandoned houses and stuff and like go through the stuff.
Oh, you never know when you find somebody there though.
I watch those.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. Anyway.
I bet it is.
So Nikki Driscoll.
Basically, there's a couple stories they have. Like he was in the rafters and some girl left her spike high heel and when he fell, it went through his skull and then, or up his nose. And then the second story was he was hanging like a banner for his love of a lifetime and fell and died. But it all involved him being up in the rafters and falling and dying. So Angela starts getting weird. And she's like, she's like into this story, which I would be too. But like, she's like all of a sudden connected to Nikki Driscoll.
Well,
and she reaches into her pocket and pulls out a ticket to the Halloween dance, which supposedly this happened on the Halloween dance. And it's from the Halloween dance of 1963, which is the same year that Nikki Driscoll died.
So, like the outfit that she was wearing,
right,
the costume or whatever, had the ticket in the pocket, and then she was connected,
right.
So, I have a little interesting fact that no one's gonna know.
Oh, okay.
Or remember?
Let me hear.
Except for me.
Okay.
Nikki Driscoll is played by a guy, and I don't know. He was in a lot. He's been in a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that I've watched, but he's been in a lot of stuff. Like I think he was in Star Trek, and he was in like Touched by an Angel, like all kinds of shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't watch any of those.
Right.
But do you know what I did watch? A lot of.
What's that?
HBO's Life Stories, Families in Crisis.
Oh.
And I watched a lot of them, and I watched them a lot. Like I would watch the same one over and over again. I don't know why.
Was it real?
They're true stories of real people, but it's like done by actors.
Okay.
So he played an addict in one of these stories, life stories on HBO. So, and that was on, I'm pretty sure before this episode, like before My So-Called Life.
Oh, wow.
But I've always through the years known, hey, that guy is the guy from Life Stories, Families in Crisis.
That's funny.
So then I went and found it on YouTube.
Oh.
And it is, I didn't watch the whole thing. I did watch a good chunk of it. And it took me back to the early 90s.
Can you put that on the website?
I would love to put it on the website.
Yes.
And I'll probably watch it all in
All
full.
right, I'm going to watch it because I don't remember. I had HBO and I don't remember. I'm sure I'll remember it once I watch it.
Life stories, families in crisis. And it's a true story. And then at the very end, the guy, like the real guy, Brandon something, like he will come on and he'll be like, this was my story.
Okay. That sparked a memory.
And the girl that played his girlfriend in that Life Stories episode, was the same. She's been in a bunch of stuff, but you'll recognize her anyway.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the show that she was on, but you'll definitely recognize her.
Okay.
But I just had to mention that.
That's really cool. That is a really cool information.
But I don't think anybody else will remember that.
I bet they will. Tweet us.
Let me know.
Tweet us if you got it. If you've seen it. So then all of a sudden, Angela sees Nikki Driscoll. She sees him, but then it's Jordan Catalano.
There's the connection.
And there he is. Hello, Jordan Catalano.
Jordan Catalano, man, oh man.
And she gives him a message. She gives him the message from the English teacher that he needs to get his butt in gear and get to class.
Right.
And I don't know if this came before the costume shop or after, but
I think it was just after the costume shop, but
whatever.
I'm sorry. It all worked out. It's fine.
Let's go back to the
costume shop was not long.
Yeah, because the costume shop basically involved Graham and Patty going to the costume shop. And the lady was like, if you're looking for Power Rangers, we don't got Power Rangers. But it was funny because she was like, I've got Rapunzel and a pirate. And she was like, oh. And she was like, the lady that was at the costume shop said, yesterday you could have been Bill and Hillary. You shouldn't have waited to the last minute. And that's exactly what she told Danielle in the beginning, because Danielle was like, what was Danielle going to be? I can't remember now.
I don't remember, but it was something.
Yeah. And then her mom was like, you shouldn't have waited to the last minute. But costume shops are not a thing anymore.
No,
really.
Remember Castle of Costumes?
Yes. And remember the one up here that was Castle of Costumes.
Yeah.
The one over here. And then there was Vintage Finery that was in Orrington. I think that's still around.
Is it?
I think so.
I have no idea. But yeah. But there are not a lot of costume places, but there used to be.
Right. And we were explaining to Bren, like, you could go and rent a costume, and like during Spirit Week, like that's what we would do. We'd go rent costumes. I don't think I ever Goodwill and stuff. I don't think I ever rented a costume. I think I always like made mine.
I did too. I never rented one.
Right.
I think they were just like too expensive to rent for like one day.
Right.
So we would go to like secondhand shops and thrift shops and find like pieces of things, and then
I found some really good stuff.
Me too. Remember my disco pants? I loved
those. Were awesome. Pants. Do you remember my my plaid wool
pants?
Yes,
I do.
Bell bottoms.
I do.
That were like lined with like silk.
Yes. I absolutely remember them. They were amazing.
They were super tight.
Everything was tight.
But they zipped on the side, I remember. And halfway through the day, the zipper started breaking, started separating, because I was a little bit too big. I was super thin, but the pants were for They were a size really too small. Yeah.
That was the disco pants. They were too small. I couldn't zip it all the way up, but I just didn't matter. They didn't.
The disco pants were amazing.
I love my disco pants.
Yes.
And they were $3.
Yeah. Nothing. Right. My shirt looked like a teacher shirt.
It was awesome though.
I looked like a mom from the 70s.
You did look like a mom from the 70s.
So all of them decide now that they are going to contact the spirit of Nikki Driscoll. And they're sitting in the library to get more information about Nikki Driscoll. And they come across this cover of Rolling Stone with Kurt Cobain on the cover, and like somebody says, I can't remember if it's Angela or Rand, like it seems like some people have to die young. I think it was
Angela said that, yeah.
And he died April 5th, 1994. So it's like, did they just have this Rolling Stone magazine like from April just like laying around, or like?
So I had that Rolling Stone magazine, and I remember the day that Kurt Cobain died.
I do too, yeah.
Because I did not go to school.
Oh.
Yes, I was very upset by this. And like, they must have just like, they worked it into the whole thing. Like they just worked it into the storyline.
Yeah.
Because that, I want to say that magazine was like May or June, maybe May.
Okay.
But anyway, I only know that because I actually had 2 copies, one to keep and one to put the cover on my wall.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, it was, I feel like there's more to it throughout the episode. I just couldn't follow it.
Yeah. The magazine gets shown a couple times.
Yeah.
Like at the end too.
So anyway, yeah, some people are meant to die young.
Yeah. And so Ricky has a thing with Brian Krakow. He's like, you got to wash those separate.
The pants. Brian.
Make sure you wash the pants separate. And then we're back to Patty needs to fire Boyd again, and she doesn't want to. But Danielle is Angela, and it's amazing. She dresses up as Angela.
It is amazing.
And like, it's so adorable.
Uncanny.
Yeah. Where'd you get the wig?
So I don't think it was a wig.
Do you think it was her hair like tucked up?
Like tucked under, and like she sprayed like red stuff on it. But I'm like, where did you get all that? You're like 11.
Right.
But it's a TV show.
Right.
I thought she looked so cute.
So this is where I kept telling Bryn it was going to be a scary part. It was cringy.
Wait, which part? Hold on. I'm just going to say one thing.
Yeah.
When when Graham and Patty are talking about firing Boyd, and Graham was like, do you want me to fire Boyd?
Yeah.
I was like, Graham, you're kind of hot.
He is, yeah.
Like, I was kind of into that. And then he like got not hot later, but I was like,
yeah,
take it by the reins.
Right. So they dress up, they get in their costumes, and they're like dressing up, and like this whole like sexual like tension builds between them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, this is cringy. And then all of a sudden Sharon is there, like downstairs with Danielle.
I didn't get that.
She's just like there.
Where did she come from?
I don't know if what's her name was sent her over, her mom. But she,
yeah, maybe.
Danielle said she's gonna go trick-or-treating, and she's like, what are you gonna do? And Sharon's like, oh, I'm gonna hang out with my boyfriend. But you can tell that she really wants to go trick-or-treating. Like, she really wants to go.
Right.
And then she ends up going with Danielle, and I thought that was so cute.
I thought that was really nice.
Yes.
It was nice for both of them.
It was. So we and Danielle says to Sharon, I wish you were my sister. And then Sharon says, because she was like, I hate her. I hate my sister. And Sharon was like, well, you dressed up like her, so you can't hate her so much because you dressed up like her.
Right.
Which that was nice of Sharon.
It was nice of Sharon. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Brian Krakow. Okay, so
I don't know what happened here, but I have to tell you what I wrote in my notes.
Okay. What'd you write?
I did not write anything about what happened.
Okay.
All I wrote is Brian is a douche canoe.
Yeah. Pretty much. Basically,
what did he do?
So they were all like at the like flagpole, or I don't even know where they were, somewhere on campus, like at school. And they're all like deciding that they are going to, like, they're talking like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we like broke into the school, like rode all over the floor? And then Nikki Driscoll was here, whatever they said. And Brian Krakow's there because he's like, I left my keys in the pocket of the pants that I let you
Yes.
borrow.
Yes.
And so as Rayanne's talking about this, she's like, I just wish we knew a way of getting in. And Brian's like, and
smug.
So, yeah.
Like smug,
And they're
smug,
like,
stupid.
oh, you know how to get in the school. So he finally says, yes, I do. And all of a sudden they're in getting into the AV room.
Like in the basement or something.
Right. And Brian starts looking at Rayanne's legs again, and they get locked out.
He is dumb.
Because they had the door open, so that way they could get back into the AV room and get out the way they came in.
Mm-hmm.
But Brian was looking at her legs, and she saw him, and yeah. So
he like jumped and shut the door or something. Like it closed.
Right.
Brian, you had one job.
Right. So, and Brian's like, Angela, why are you doing this? You could get in big trouble. Why are you doing this, Brian?
Exactly.
Like, why are you here?
Because he likes Rayanne's legs.
Right. Yeah. So Rayanne's like, we need to turn the security system off. So Brian and Rayanne go to turn the security system off, and somehow they turn off all the lights. And all of a sudden, Angela hears Blue Moon. The song Blue Moon. And she is I wrote, Angela is transported back to 1963.
So
blue, blue, blue.
I don't know where I had this note in my notes, but somewhere in my notes, and I feel like it was something around here. Oh, no, I'll get there.
Okay.
I'll get there.
So, I forgot to mention, because this comes up again, like back in when Angela was putting on her costume and Rayanne was shaving her legs, like they were talking about stuffing their bra.
Yes.
And like, we didn't do that. I think I did that once in like 3rd grade just to see what it would be like. And it was like obvious.
Well, right. Yes.
It wasn't like 3rd grade. I think it was older than that. But because you guys, I had no boobs, like none. Like I have this picture of me and Erica and I, and like I'm completely flat. There's like not even any bumps there. It's like a Ken doll. So Ricky's outside, and there are a bunch of bikers, and he goes to run underneath the bleachers, and bam, Jordan Catalano is there. And Jordan's like, you better get out of here, because they're ripped. Somebody egged Tino's car. Tino's car. I always want to call him Tito. There's reasons behind that. And then it flashes to Angela, and she's in a flashback, and they're stuffing their bras.
Right.
Yeah. These 2 girls, and one of them has a rose that Nikki Driscoll gave to her, and yada, 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 and flashback. And it's the Halloween party in 1963. And then Graham and Patty get all hot and heavy.
So I'm gonna add a little tidbit.
Okay.
So I was watching it.
It might be the same one I have.
And one of those girls.
Yeah.
I was like, she looks familiar.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know who she is?
Who?
Big Red from Bring It On.
Are you serious?
Yes. I like her.
Oh, no
I knew her
way.
face. So I went on and I had to confirm it. But I was like, I know that face. Like that's Big Red.
That's amazing.
I've probably seen Bring It On 30 times. So that's I knew the face.
I freaking love that movie.
I do too.
That we did that podcast way back with Bring It On. Or was that just me? It was both of us.
No, I think we both did.
Yeah.
Did we?
I think it was both of us.
No, we did.
I think it was both of us.
Did. Yeah.
Yeah. That was like our first like guest spot.
Mm-hmm. Was that ever released?
Yeah. It was.
I don't remember. It's been
okay.
so long.
It's been a long time.
It's been like 3 years.
Yeah.
We did that in the very beginning.
We did that in like the first like couple months.
Right.
So Graham says, I can be quick. Graham.
First of all, no thank you. Second of all, when she said your sword, I thought she was talking about something else.
So did Bryn. I just wrote that.
I
So did
thought
Bryn.
that was something else. And then I saw the sword and I'm like, oh, nope. It was really his sword.
Bryn goes, that was supposed to be sexual. And I was like, I think so too. But then I was like, oh no, there's a sword. So, but she's like, leave the tights on for a little bit. And then her feet go up in the air. And it's like, what? And what are they doing? Like, how can you leave the tights on?
Thank you. That was my thought. Like, why leave them on?
And like,
you're just going to rip a hole in them?
Why do you want them on?
That's not comfortable.
Like, but why? Like, that's not.
Does it make her feel like,
does she like it? She have a tight thing? Like she have a thing for tights? I don't know.
Maybe it makes her feel sexy.
Yeah, maybe.
It makes me feel like a fucking sausage.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It makes me feel like a bound sausage.
Like a hot dog. Like a hot dog casing.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God.
Like the way that the waistband is, it makes me feel like a bound up like roast.
Yes. That's how I feel like with a bound up roast. With anything that comes up like too high on me, it like I don't have hips, you guys. Like I'm just straight. Like even when I'm thin, like I don't have a waist. And all these things that you buy that are like control top or whatever, they're like made for people who have like a waist.
Same.
And for me, and like Brooke said, it just makes you like a tied up roast.
Right. I feel like I am strapped in and ready to go in the crock pot.
Me too.
For 6 to 8 hours. That's how I feel. And I don't like it. And so when I used to have to wear pantyhose when I worked at that restaurant in high school.
That's right.
You had to wear hose, and like girls had to wear dresses or skirts, and you had to wear pantyhose or tights. I would cut the tops.
Oh, smart.
Like I would cut like on each side.
Yeah.
I cut them so they didn't like push so hard on my belly. Right. And I was thin. I was like a size 8.
You didn't even have a belly.
No, but it like cut into like my skin.
Right, because we don't have hips, and it was trying to make you have that hourglass figure, and instead it would make you look like you had a belly because it would like
poof you I'd have a roll.
Right.
I would have a roll.
Right.
So
my mom would get me control top pantyhose, and I didn't need control top pantyhose. Like I didn't
that's what my mom would get me, and then I realized that they make pantyhose that are not control top.
Yeah. And I was just like, why are you getting me control top pantyhose? Like,
right.
You trying to tell me something?
Is this a hint?
So Rayanne starts talking to Brian and she's like, I'm scared of the dark. Like, don't leave. I'm scared of the dark. And she's like, my dad used to lock me in the basement, and tells a story, but it's a joke.
Right.
And Brian's like, that's sick. And then she starts talking about him looking at her legs. He's a perv. I wrote Brian is a perv.
I wrote she's nuts, but is obviously guarding her real struggles.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So all of a sudden it flashes to Nikki Driscoll and his friend, and they're talking about hanging this fake principal on the rafters. And Nikki's like, yeah, and he's like, we're going to get him for kicking us out, because now you learn that Nikki Driscoll was kicked out of high school. And that's probably why the girl was like, I don't know if I like him, he's not going places, whatever.
Right.
So Blue Moon is playing, and he's like, I love this song. Did you know that Elvis recorded this when he was our age? And it's not Elvis singing Blue Moon, as far as I know. I don't think that was Elvis singing Blue Moon. But so she talks to Nikki and tries to get him to go up in the rafters, and there's this dramatic chase. It's like a dramatic
Nikki. This is my note that I was going to say. This is my note. And this is the good time to say it.
Okay.
I wrote, this is all very dramatic. This was never my favorite episode.
No.
It was a little over the top and a little cheese.
Yeah, a lot of cheese. So much cheese.
It was never my favorite episode.
I hope they didn't base this episode excuse me, other reasoning for canceling it, because that would suck.
Right.
But I don't know if this happened before, and it might have happened before because my notes are all over the place. But Brian calls home and tells his mom that he's going to be staying the night, and like the grandmother is asleep. And
oh yeah, don't call
mom.
her.
And yeah, like Rand's like proud of him. Like, I'm proud of you, Brian. You lied to your parents.
You lied to your parents.
Right. So then it's morning. And Danielle's returning Angela's clothes, and she like touches all her stuff. And she leaves Angela candy.
She left her candy. She didn't leave her very good candy, but she left her candy.
No, right.
Which was nice.
Brian and Rayanne wake up next to each other, and it's like one of those like, like you know
yes, I know what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like, oh my god, how did this happen? Why are you laying on me? Blah, 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 blah. So the janitor's there, but she was like, the janitor's name, I don't remember his name. He won't tell.
Mike, we were
never here. So Camille,
I liked that made me laugh.
Camille calls Patty and
apologizes for not coming to the party.
Right. Patty calls Camille, or Camille calls Patty, and like, why didn't you come? And she was like, oh, we were going to be Bill and Hillary. And she was like, we did have costumes. We did. We were going to be Bill and Hillary. But she said something came up, or
it was something we ate.
Something came over them. Something came over us. Yes. Yes, Patty, we know what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
So
he was quick with a sword.
Then it's cringy again because they're talking all sexual again. And then Patty fires Boyd. She fires him. Finally. So you
can stop talking about him.
Right. She just does it. And then they're in school, and Brian asks Ricky, like, what Rayanne said about the night before, and she didn't say anything.
Right.
So, like, Brian's like, oh.
So, like, what did Brian want her to say?
Right.
They fell asleep because it was the middle of the night, and he locked them in the school.
Right. Exactly.
So, like, what was she going to say? We made
exactly.
Out.
So, the bodice is ripped of the Rapunzel costume.
Yeah.
And when she goes to return it, the woman, she was like, well, there was something that happened. And the woman behind the counter is like, the bodice ripped. It happens every time. And Bryn goes, that's disgusting. That means that tons of people had sex in that costume. I'm like, Bryn, you're not wrong.
Correct.
Oh my god.
But she knew what she was doing.
Right.
That costume lady knew.
Yeah.
Like, she knew that they needed that.
I know, somehow. But how many people? It's like one of those hot tubs that are in like
hotel rooms.
Yes. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. But she keeps the handkerchief.
Which a handkerchief. What is she going to do with it? This was from that one night.
She going to blow her nose into it? I need to blow my nose. So Angela talks to Jordan. He's like, I'm not going to class. She's like, you're going to get expelled. That teacher doesn't know you. And he's like, what does she care? Whatever. And Angela gives him this pep talk. And then goes into the classroom, and the Kurt Cobain magazine shows up again in the classroom. And there's Jordan. He shows up. And then Angela opens the book, and there's the rose in her book from Nikki Driscoll. The end.
So something I read when I was on IMDb that somebody pointed out or something was the teacher at the end.
Yeah.
When Jordan comes to class, she's like, open your books to page 27.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 27 is that age that, like, when Kurt Cobain died, when Jim Morrison died, when Janis Joplin died, like that 27.
Yeah.
So somebody like linked it to that or something.
Oh.
But also, I thought that this episode was very cheesy.
Yes.
But Nikki Driscoll was Jordan Catalano. Jordan Catalano was Nikki Driscoll.
Right.
And Angela was able to save Nikki Driscoll by saving Jordan Catalano.
Right.
And it all came together very nice at the end with a little bow.
There it was.
Jordan Catalano is hot.
Yes.
You know what I'm going to do?
What's that?
I'm going to put that episode of Life Stories, Families in Crisis on our website.
Yes.
And I'm also going to put my absolute favorite video of him singing. Not Nikki Driscoll.
No, Jordan Catalano. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I am going to put it on.
20, 24 hours to go.
It's actually not him. It's 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put it on because it is hot and you need to show Bryn. Like, you need to show Bryn.
I will.
I'm going to put it on right now because, like, I watch it almost every day, actually.
Are you kidding me?
No, I love it. It's probably my most played video on YouTube.
You're kind of a weirdo.
I am kind of a weirdo. I watch a lot of the same things. And, like, I watch a lot of The Office, like, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I watch a lot of the same, like the Harry Styles NPR Tiny Desk.
Mm-hmm.
I watch that. If I don't watch it, I listen to it.
I've never seen that.
It's so good.
Okay. I'll look it up afterwards.
So good. There's so many good things, but I'm going to put that video on there just because everyone needs to reference how hot this man is even today.
That's it. That's all we got. That's
Yay!
all we got. So
we will be back.
We'll be back at you next week.
Can't wait for another Halloween something.
Yeah. Maybe not Halloween. Maybe. Oh, yeah. Maybe Halloween.
I think it will be Halloween. Because I think
we're going
to
do something Halloweenish for you guys. Something fun. Yeah, it'll be Halloween.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're excited.
Yeah, we are. So
it'll be a good month.
We'll see you next episode.
Okay, I'll be loving guys.
You. We'll be loving you forever. Amen.
Amen. Okay, bye.
Bye.